Do you think LeBron James is up there with the greatest players of all time?
Yes. I will, depends on how you see, because according to the position that he plays, when people start comparing him with Jordan, then that's not a fair comparison, because Jordan is far more superior player and a very, very tough league, and very, very very creative. Okay. I mean, that's not taking anything away from LeBron James, because he's a great player, but it's not a fair comparison, because I think Jordan is much far superior player.
Okay, and just one last question. What was the most memorable game in your entire basketball career?
I would say our first championship against the Knicks, when Game 7, when they finally blew that whistle that the series was over. That was my most memorable. Looking at all the banners coming down, because I've played in the finals in college 3 years. In 1986, in the pros, I went to the finals against Boston and we lost. So I've been on the other side for so many times. So to finally climb the mountain, it was my most favorable moment.
There are compliments, and then there are declarations that echo through basketball history. When Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon speaks, it's never just casual talk. It's a verdict from someone who's lived greatness firsthand. A two-time NBA champion, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and a legend who battled the giants of the 80s and 90s, from Larry Bird's Celtics to Patrick Ewing's Knicks, Shaq's Magic, and even Jordan's Bulls. Hakeem's words carry the weight of experience. He's not a loud commentator or a biased fan. He's a man who climbed the mountain of greatness himself. So when asked if LeBron James deserves a seat beside the all-time greats, Hakeem's response didn't just join the debate, it shook it. With a calm smile, he said what few dare to say. When people start comparing with Jordan, that's not a fair comparison, because Jordan is far more superior. Not just better, far superior. That's how Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon described Michael Jordan, and when those words came from a man who's fought through the wars of the finals, they cut deep. Hakeem isn't speaking as a fan or analyst. He's speaking as a warrior who's climbed that mountain himself. He knows what true greatness costs. Even standing among the greatest centers to ever live, he looks up and sees Jordan on another level entirely. With one calm sentence, Hakeem didn't just give his opinion, he shattered the illusion. The illusion that this debate between LeBron and Jordan was still alive. Because if the legends who faced Jordan, the ones who bled, battled, and lost to him, all agree he was untouchable, what's left to argue? And here's what most people miss. Hakeem's words weren't about protecting Jordan or disrespecting LeBron. They were about truth, the kind only those who survived the brutal trenches of 80s and 90s basketball can fully understand. Jordan's NBA wasn't just a league, it was a battlefield. Hand-checking was a weapon, not a whistle. Defenders could grab, shove, and flatten you to the floor, and refs barely blinked. The paint wasn't a scoring zone, it was a war zone guarded by enforcers whose mission was simple, make you regret every drive. This was the era of the Jordan rules, the brutal strategy the Detroit Pistons built to hit, foul, and break him down mentally and physically. But Jordan didn't just endure it, he dominated it. He turned pain into purpose, violence into motivation, and rose above every attempt to stop him. Fast forward to today, and the game looks completely different. LeBron thrives in an NBA tailored for offense, a league built to protect its stars, where touch fouls send you to the line and open floors invite highlight drives. And while that doesn't take away from his greatness, it reminds us, the world Jordan ruled was a jungle. LeBron's. It's a stage. But as Hakeem put it, the comparison itself isn't fair, because Jordan wasn't just battling opponents, he was fighting an entire system built to break him. And instead of cracking under pressure, he became untouchable. But Hakeem didn't stop there. He drew a subtle yet powerful distinction. Jordan's dominance wasn't just mental toughness, it was precision, speed, and creativity on another level. LeBron's greatness, he explained, often comes from size and strength, bulldozing through defenders like a freight train. Jordan's came from pure mastery. His footwork, quickness, and instinct made the game look like art. So when Hakeem says it's unfair to compare, he's not tearing LeBron down, he's elevating Jordan. His saying LeBron plays chess on a clean, polished board, while Jordan played chess on a board set on fire and still never lost. And if you know Hakeem's journey, battling Bird's Celtics in '86, the heartbreaks, then conquering Ewing's Knicks and Shaq's Magic in '94 and '95, you know one thing for sure. This man doesn't hand out respect easily. Hakeem knows the true cost of greatness. He paid it himself, and that's why his words hit like truth carved in stone. When it comes to Jordan versus LeBron, he didn't just say Jordan was better, he explained why. Speed, creativity, killer instinct. According to Hakeem, Jordan wasn't only quicker, he was more imaginative, more unpredictable, more alive on the court. And that means something coming from Olajuwon, a man whose own footwork was so elegant it created the legendary dream shake. If the master of finesse himself says Jordan's movement was untouchable, you know you're witnessing something rare. Jordan's first step wasn't just fast, it was instant, like he teleported past defenders before they could blink. His hang time defied logic. While others came down, Jordan stayed suspended, still thinking, still creating, still deciding how to finish, not just playing the game, but rewriting it in midair. That wasn't just athleticism, that was art. Jordan moved like a painter with the ball, every drive a masterpiece in motion. LeBron, on the other hand, is a 6 feet 9 inches, 260-pound locomotive built to dominate with power and precision. His greatness comes from sheer strength, versatility, and control. But the grace, the ballet of basketball, that belonged to Jordan. And then there's the killer instinct, the trait that truly separates legends. Jordan didn't just aim to win, he aimed to crush your spirit. Every play was personal, every shot a message. When the game hung in the balance, Jordan wasn't just confident, he was inevitable. Ask the Cavs in '89, the Blazers in '92, the Jazz in '97 and '98. The result was never in question. LeBron has had his defining moments too. That 2016 Game 7 chase-down block on Iguodala was iconic. But alongside those highs come the valleys. 2011 against Dallas, the finals where he disappeared, the big game hesitations, even that all-star moment when he passed instead of taking the shot and Kobe and Wade let him hear it. Jordan never had those lapses. He never gave the world a single second to doubt him. That's the essence of what Hakeem was saying. Jordan wasn't just quicker, sharper, or more skilled. He carried an aura of inevitability, a sense that fate itself was on his side. Facing Jordan wasn't just playing basketball, it was confronting destiny. LeBron inspires admiration. Jordan inspired fear. One is respected, the other was feared. And in sports, that fear is what truly separates the great from the immortal. LeBron James commands reverence, and rightfully so. 2 decades at the top, 4 championships, endless finals appearances, and the all-time scoring crown, his legacy is unquestionable. When LeBron enters the arena, fans and players rise in respect. But when Michael Jordan stepped onto the floor, hearts sank. Fear is a different language. Respect says, "You're great." Fear says, "We're already beaten." Teams saw LeBron and believed they had a chance. Dallas in 2011, San Antonio in '07 and '14, Golden State in '17 and '18, and sometimes they were right. But when teams saw Jordan, belief disappeared before the tip-off. Barkley's Suns admitted it in '93. Gary Payton's Sonics confessed it in '96. Malone and Stockton's Jazz felt it in '97 and '98. They weren't just beaten by Jordan, they were broken. Hakeem understood that better than anyone. He survived a Western Conference filled with giants and knew the brutal cost of greatness. He also knew the difference between a man you respect and a man you fear, and Jordan was fear incarnate. He was inevitability in sneakers. That's why he went 6-4-6 in the finals, why he never needed a Game 7, and why he could vanish from the game for 2 full seasons and still return to reclaim his throne like he never left. LeBron is admired for his numbers, his longevity, his versatility, and that admiration is deserved. But admiration doesn't crush hope before the game even starts. Fear does. And that's what Jordan brought, an aura that defeated opponents long before the tip-off. He didn't just play basketball, he possessed it. That's the line between greatness and immortality, between perfection and scars. Numbers don't always tell the full story, but sometimes they shout louder than words ever could. Michael Jordan, 6 finals appearances, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 0 losses, 0 Game 7s, no collapses, no scars, pure perfection. LeBron James, 10 finals trips, 4 championships, 6 defeats, moments of triumph alongside moments that haunt his legacy. This is the wall LeBron can't seem to scale, the shadow he can't shake, because the finals aren't just games, they are basketball's judgment seat. Jordan never left it empty-handed. Every time he stepped onto that court, he wrote the ending. Look at who he beat: Magic Johnson's Lakers, Clyde Drexler's Blazers, Charles Barkley's MVP Suns, Gary Payton and Shawn Kemp's Sonics, Karl Malone and John Stockton's Jazz, twice. Hall of Famers, dynasties, legends, all fell before him. And then there's LeBron's final scars, 2011 against Dallas, the one that quietly whispers every time the GOAT debate resurfaces. Jason Terry and JJ Barea, not legends, just role players, outshined LeBron on the NBA's biggest stage. That collapse can't be erased. And it wasn't a one-time thing. Swept in 2007 by the Spurs, crushed again in 2014 by San Antonio, destroyed by Golden State in 2017 and 2018. LeBron's defenders point to context, longevity, competition, circumstances. But history doesn't care about excuses. History only cares about results. And the results are clear. Jordan's crown is flawless, while LeBron's bears cracks and scars. When Hakeem Olajuwon looks at that record, he sees exactly what every legend sees. Jordan's perfection is untouchable. Because perfection isn't just winning, it's leaving no room for doubt, no moment for opponents to question you. LeBron gave us greatness. Jordan gave us inevitability. And inevitability, it is undefeated.